Hi, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How is y'all doing?
I am doing great. I feel so much better today. I had been a little tired, a little achy these past few days, but for whatever reason, today was a good day.
That's
I'm just
always
thanking God.
good. It hasn't been raining up that way, y'all.
It has been raining and then it was cold and I this shoulder injury I had, it kind of messed with it a little bit, but today was a good
That
day.
is so weird. I had a shoulder injury. I actually fell on black ice in the work parking lot. Like I've been going to physical therapy. People, when you tell people a shoulder injury, they're like, "Oh, that will keep you up at night."
I'm telling
It's
you.
something about that nighttime. You like, man, I remember having to sleep sitting up that first couple of days. I'm like, these old bones out, they not when I fall, it take a little bit of
Yeah,
longer to recover these days.
it is. You gotta be careful now.
Yes.
Mm-mm. Y'all be careful out there. Well, welcome to Women of Wisdom. This is Wisdom Wednesday with Nisa Naney. And today we have a special guest, no other than Miss Kia. Um,
Yeah.
yes. We wanted to bring her on because, for one, she means a lot to us. And then for two, she has a lot of insight on a lot of things. She may be young and beautiful and successful, but that don't mean that she hasn't been through the ringer. That doesn't mean that she is not the epiphany of the strength of a woman is. So, I know her story, and definitely moved by it. But we're gonna kind of just talk about the resilience, the strength of a woman. Um, March is Women's History Month, so this is our month to celebrate us. Even though we should celebrate ourselves every day, but
Yes. Getting caught up in being a mom, a wife, employee. You gotta find that time to take time to celebrate yourself. Not even
that
just in March, but throughout the entire year.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, just because I know you and Nanny know you, just introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, what you got going on,
Okay.
and
Well, my name is Kia, also known or Takia, also known as Miss Kia. I'm 29 years old. I currently work full time. I'm in school to become a mental health therapist. My target audience will be young adults, um, disabled veterans, and whoever else that crossed my path. But that's going to be my target audience. I'm also have a very successful business. I've been in business 6 years now. Yeah, 6 years. Um, and it's a skincare business, and I put my absolute all into it. It consists of soaps, scrubs, oils, everything that you can pretty much name or need. I can provide it to you. Um, yeah, that's a little bit about myself. I have two babies, a 10-year or a 12-year-old and a 2-year-old. He'll be 3 in about a week. We're celebrating his birthday this weekend. So yeah, that's just a little bit about Miss Kia.
yes, I love it. I love it, and her products are amazing.
Yes,
One
tell
of
us the
us.
name of the company so we can put you out there. Anyone that
The
may.
name of my company is Miss Kia's Natural Body Care.
Okay.
Miss Kia's
And I
Natural
have
Body Care. Y'all
actually,
can go add me on Facebook, Instagram, or even text me for any inquiries or
yes, the
questions.
products are great. I have, yeah, they are tried and true.
Thank
Yes,
you, Nanny.
yes.
Thank you, Nanny.
Yeah.
So this month is not only about us women, but how that looks, how we carry that, what that means, and um, the woman itself is such a detrimental and a vital part to how everything works, right? We got our hands in everything. That
Yeah.
takes strength, sacrifice, resilience. And,
Mhm.
the mothers and the grandmothers and just everyday women is how we kind of learn to deal with things, and also some things that we pick up through our experience in our life.
Yeah.
um so Miss Kia, I mean, what is your definition of resilience and how does it look to you?
My definition of resilience is basically knowing how to keep yourself grounded, going through every obstacle, every circumstance, every change. Just pretty much getting through it. And not even when we say getting through it in our culture is like you'll be all right, you just got to push through. My definition of resilience is making sure I feel whatever is going on, I process it, and I move forward. So that's pretty much my definition of resilience. Just keeping on. Remember your why every day, and just continue to try every day. Every day is a new start, a new journey. It's 24 hours, but you always have a turn. You always have opportunity to turn around. But yeah, that's what resilience looks like in my life. Just making sure I keep going.
I love
Right.
it because you said it, you have to feel whatever it is that you're going through. That's where you get the true, like, blessing in the lesson is when you don't try to just jump over it or go around it. It's the going through it part. And that's what makes you resilient, because once you come out on the other end, you're so much more grateful and you feel so much more blessed that you made it out, you learned. I mean, I'm sure it's a learning,
Um,
experience, and you come out with more knowledge, more wisdom, and that's the beauty of it all, right?
Right, exactly. Just knowing those lessons, and kind of just taking them moving forward with a grain of salt. Some lessons won't be applied to the next circumstance, but you can use those same tools that you use in that particular situation to get you through whatever else is to come. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's what my definition looks like.
Yes, that is definitely the definition, really. I'm sure that it has been some times or some circumstances where, you know, um dealing with our responsibilities, our day-to-day life and all of that, and life has a way of lifing. Things
Yeah,
happen to us unexpectedly, and like you said, in our community it's real big to say, oh, be strong, God got you, which he does. um
yeah,
you know don't worry, da, 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 and just kind of push through it. But like Nani said, and when she pointed out, I was gonna point that out too, is that you know um feeling the emotions through those hard times and not trying to hide from them or mask them, but actually going through the process,
yeah,
of being angry, being sad, being
yeah.
frustrated, being lost. Like those are like natural feelings. We're
Right.
human, right? And when you don't avoid those emotions, you allow yourself to like process them.
Hmm.
And I think that's really big because that's something that I had to learn recently. It's like, it's okay to really kind of feel like, maybe, hold on, maybe I don't have it all together. Maybe
Yeah,
I do need help, or maybe
yeah,
do need some guidance on this, because this is a little too much.
yeah.
That's resilience in itself. It's hard to ask,
Right,
right? But it's not
right.
weak to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's quite opposite. So, what do you think that some of the challenges, either one of y'all, we could just kind of talk through it, but what would you say, like, are some of the challenges that women today are like quietly navigating. Um,
Um, Nana, you want to go first, or you want me to?
Well, you go first. You're our guest, so I really want
Go
to hear
first.
from you.
For me, I mean, I feel like the challenges for most women these days are to always look like we have it together, when we really don't, and always just trying to push through, not really, like you said, never asking for help, or it looks like a weakness if we do ask for help. Um, Baby J's right here, so give me just a moment. Okay, give me just a moment.
Well,
it
I'll
was,
go ahead and go too. Like,
yeah,
I know one of the things that I know that we struggle with is community amongst each other. I think that sometimes we try, like Kia was saying, we try to make it seem like we have it all together, and we don't like to reach out to our community. And that's what I've been trying to do, is surround myself with people who are there to uplift me, and I uplift them, and not just there to be a spectator in my life. I have tried to rid myself from those type of people, because I want to go for quality, not quantity, when it comes to relationships and friendships in my life. And I need people around me that whenever I do have those moments where I feel down, or I feel like, I'm stressed out, and I just need somebody to just speak life into me. I'm trying to surround myself with those type of people. And I think that's one of the things that we struggle with, because we are scared to make it seem as though we're not the perfect look that, we are, and I don't care anymore to look perfect, you
right.
know, like life be life, and it takes so much more energy for me to try to make people think that I have it all together. Oh, Cayman, love you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so that's the part that I think that we struggle with as a community of women in our culture, in the world period, is that we don't commune enough with each other and share, not for, gossiping or anything like that, but just share so that I know that I'm not alone in what I'm going through or what I may be dealing with. And instead of judging, like, give me some pointers, give me some advice that's life-giving, not, oh, you need to do this, or you know what I'm saying, but just like, hey, keep your head up, it doesn't last always, and just stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I just don't think that we do that enough, and I really want to try to bridge that gap, that we can discuss things and then not be gossip, but that we really, really speak life into each other, into our circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things with what women today, I would say, that are quietly navigating is, like you said, not having that community, and then also, um having to keep this image as if, like, like Kia said, like everything is good and everything is fine or whatever. And that's why I think it's real, I think it's very important to express uh, our hurt, or whatever circumstances we may be going through. I did have a friend that, like, posted on social media and was like, like, basically, like, I'm depressed or whatever. And it just kind of clicked in my head, because, like, I have my day-to-day activities. I could say I'm busy, all whatever, right? But, what's wrong with me taking time out of my day just to do a check-in with my friend Kia?
Yeah.
Setting some time aside just to see, how are you doing? Like, is there anything, you need, or, is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah.
It can
And
feel
me and
long.
Miss B, we have this thing. I don't know when we created it, B, but when, like, on our busy days, it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your day? And like she'll send me a number, or I'll send her a number, like, this is what's going on, and we'll recap after.
Oh,
So we got this thing
awesome.
we created.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's a check-in.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good start too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to open that doorway for somebody to say, "Oh man, this is an opportunity for me to really, really have somebody that I can talk to about what I got going on right now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Somebody
other,
you can trust, you know?
right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
feel like a lot of women also deal with overstimulation, especially single mothers. I'm just trying to juggle it all and not knowing what to do when you're overstimulated. It's very cliche to say, but I've learned with therapy and just life experience of being a mama is breathing.
Hmm.
It's really like actually like focusing on the way you're breathing because it has a lot to do with the way you're breathing. Like if you're not inhaling and exhaling at least 5, 6 times and kind of just like stepping back mentally and like literally breathing, focusing on your breathing, your overstimulation is going to continue to increase and increasing, and then you're just going, like for me, I will just bawl like if I'm too overstimulated. So I had to literally step back and be like, I really got to work on my breathing, so I could get through this because this is a temporary thing that's happening. And yeah, so I really feel like it's very cliche to say, people be like, work on your breathing. I feel like it really has helped me cope with a lot of overstimulation, anxiety, um, just being nervous about just little certain things. So yeah, that's another thing that I feel like it really helped as well.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes you, I think it makes you become present, of
Yeah.
like what's going on, and kind of helps you get back into reality, and you're able to
Right.
assess, the reality versus maybe what your mind is telling you or what you think
Yeah.
may be going on, and if it is a problem, whatever case may be, you get that reset to be able to try to figure it out, because that's that's
Right.
what we do constantly as women, as parents, as whatever in our jobs. We're constantly trying to figure things out,
Hmm.
so that overstimulation is like, it's very real.
Yeah.
um that was one of that was one of my granny's favorite words to use. That was new. It's kind of a new thing in our generation to say.
Mhm.
They didn't say overstimulated. They say,
So my nerves
y'all
is
getting on my
bad.
nerves. Yeah, my
Yeah.
nerves is bad.
Exactly.
And so so anything that we did, my granny would be like, "Y'all overstimulating me," and we'd be like, "Girl, you ain't even using it right." But it's very real. It's not something that we just say. Like, it's definitely a real good explanation of what we're feeling.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it may feel like maybe we're overreacting, or doing too much, or tripping, or whatever. It's like, no, like my brain is on a overload, you know.
Right. And I
I'm,
feel like it's really important to have people around you that don't downplay like
yeah.
how you feel or you express how you feel. Like I'm overstimulated today. Give me a little time, or just setting those boundaries. Instead of just like pushing it. Well, I need to speak to you. We need to, I learned that I don't react well in those situations, and I actually will like stop talking. Like it's really important to be around. I call them my safe people that will respect my boundaries whenever I do, or I am getting nervous, overstimulated, or just like overwhelmed. Period. Just giving me a little break, and then I'm gonna get back with you when I get myself together. It's really important to have those type of people around you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean that, yeah, yeah, most definitely. And all the
Mm.
time, like, it doesn't make you not resilient when you do need those type of moments. Like,
Right.
we're constantly showing up
Yeah.
for everybody around who needs us, who depends on us, even when
Right.
we're tired,
Mhm.
just don't feel like it, or just, whatever, we'll rather be doing something else, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the biggest things that us as women, it is our responsibility to add to another thing to add to our long list of responsibilities. Reach out to one another. Let's
Yeah.
do our check-ins.
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
yeah, that, how they say, check on your strong friends, the
Yes,
ones
ma'am.
that have trouble asking for help,
Yeah.
just to let them know it's okay not to be okay, whatever, what's going on. So I challenge, like, everybody who may see this, and even myself, and YouTube, to reach out to that person that runs by your mind, and um just check in, see how they're doing. You just
Mhm.
never know what people need in certain moments. But yeah.
And I always say that if God puts someone on your heart or on your mind, that's your cue that you need to check on them. Um,
Mhm.
that God is intentional about those types of things. And it hasn't been a time where somebody crossed my mind and I reached out to them and they like, oh my God, I'm so glad you called me. This is what's,
Yes.
whatever, and I didn't call nobody and I didn't, because I didn't want to bother nobody. And I always like silently in my head be like, thank you, God, because I don't know what I would have felt like had this person not had somebody and they, had a nervous breakdown or, something just, I be thinking the worst, but, I like to be there for people when they need me. And it makes me feel good when I do show up in the time that they are really needing somebody to talk to.
Right. Because most of the time, I mean, we have our partners and stuff, but there's nothing like that lady time, like talking to your friends or your mom or your grandma, people that I mean, not saying they don't understand. I mean, because they do to a certain extent, but talking to a woman, a woman, like, just about whatever's going on.
Just to piggyback off of that, we will be having a retreat coming soon for just that, for the lady hangout, for us to just sit and talk, get in our PJs, maybe have a glass of wine or something like that, or whatever, to just wind down and really just open up. We're gonna have some professionals there. It's gonna be a great time. So that's gonna be coming soon. We're gonna start doing some raffles and things like that because we definitely want
Yeah.
to have someone. We're trying to pick someone who we feel really really needs it. So we're going to have people. We're going to be soliciting for people to give us ideas and names of people who would benefit greatly from it. Like maybe somebody that just had a baby, or just needs a little break. Maybe like you said, overstimulated to the
Right.
highest effect. And so we're really, really excited about that. So just stay tuned for that. We're going to be having, an opportunity for everybody to come in and hang out.
I
Sounds
can't
like
wait.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
I'm excited. Counting
Yeah.
down the days.
I know.
Right. I would like to, express my gratitude for, my friend Kia, because, although, like, I know her life more than a lot of anybody that may see this, right? Aside from, like, her mom and stuff, her close family and stuff. But she does a really good job about making sure that her friends are okay. And I feel like we're more than friends. But recently, with the passing of my grandmother, she was one of those ones who I felt like that, how, like, you don't really want to, like, bother nobody, because she knew how busy we was, but she like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Like,
Whatever you
I'm
need
here,
done,
whatever you
I'm
need.
here.
It's like,
Listen,
do I need to come early for
prayer.
the Yeah, most definitely, Nanny. Do I need to come early for the funeral to help set up? Do we need to? Do I need to do anything? She was at the repast before us doing stuff. So it really does mean a lot to people when you just show up, when they just
Yeah,
hear your voice or just that text. They may not even respond, but they seen it, and
right,
you feel seen. You feel like somebody actually cares. So
right.
do it.
Just
You can
being present.
do it.
Yes, ma'am. Because some people, I mean, and I'm like this. Sometimes sometimes I like for to be checked in on, but I also like my friends to like come and visit me randomly and we
Mhm.
don't say nothing. Just be there, you know? That's my therapy. I don't know why it is, but sometimes I just don't want to talk. I just need you there. You know what I'm saying? If that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I
A
love
lot of
you. I
our
love you, Nanny.
visits went like that. Actually, like, girl, this is your house. I don't have to entertain you. If you
Right.
hungry, go in the
Listen.
kitchen and get you something to eat if you want something to drink.
Okay. Listen. Go get you a snack. I done took plenty of naps on Miss B's couch. Gratefully.
And bed. Who was that sleep? You and Daisha? Was that you and
Yeah.
Daisha sleep in the
Me
bed?
and Daisha knocked out cold. Yes.
Crazy. So I mean, how do you stay? What are some tips that maybe y'all have for people in general, to stay grounded when you are feeling those overwhelming emotions? What are some tips you have to stay grounded?
Um,
I know you
for
said
me,
breathing.
Yeah.
yes, definitely praying, turning
Mhm.
my phone on D&D and getting in that deep prayer on my
Mhm.
knees, you know,
Yeah.
um, grounded, just really, um, really turning that phone off, praying, meditating, closing my eyes for 10 minutes, just reminding myself that whatever's going on is just temporary and it will pass. Um, and I feel like I have to stay grounded because if not, I have so many moving pieces in my life and so many people that pull me here, pull me there,
Mhm.
and that need me. And then me just being like the heart of my family, I had to find a way to ground myself. So just sometimes just turning that phone off, getting in deep prayer, and rest. A lot of rest to keep me grounded. Sometimes I go for a walk. I put baby J in his stroller. Janai, she come with me, put on our shoes. We'll go for a walk, being outside, keep you grounded for a little bit. But those are my ways to kind of stay grounded.
Nanny, what about you?
I do what I want to do. Like I give myself permission to
Mm.
do what I want to do. And that I think is so important for us as mothers because, like Kia said, we get pulled in so many different directions that we feel as though our life is just based on whatever other people want, the people that depend on us
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And sometimes you can get lost in that. And then you forget what hobbies you had, what interests you had,
yeah, Nanny.
that. And it's important for you to still maintain yourself. And you can do it simultaneously while raising people, while being partner and companion, in companionship with people. So it's important that if you like to watch movies, make sure that you do that, that you enjoy that time to yourself to watch a movie. If you like to go and garden or do nothing. Sometimes that's okay. Like Kia said, meditating, just sitting with yourself and just you don't have to say or be doing anything, but everybody needs that time to do what they want to do. So I have lately given myself permission. If my body is telling me that no, we're not doing nothing today, I'll voice that and say, hey y'all, mama just want to lay down today. Like
Mm,
I know you got this going on. I'm gonna have to bow out of that today. And I give
mm,
myself permission because I know that I don't do it, without having a reason. So if them kids know that if it's something going on that they need mama to show up to, I'm gonna be there. But I also know that my body talks to me, and when I need to just say, no, I don't want to go and sit at a basketball game today or sit in
yeah.
the gym and gymnastics. I'm gonna lay down and I'll just come and get you afterwards.
Right. Yes, ma'am. I always, for a long time, I had a problem with doing that. Like, I feel
Mhm.
like if I, at one point of time in my life, I feel like if I told somebody no, like, I would think about it the rest of that day or the rest of that week, like, dang. But the older I get, the more I realize self-preservation is vital because
It
if I'm not good, I'm not only not good for my kids, and I dang sure can't be good for you and show up for you if I'm not taking care of myself. So,
absolutely.
but for a long time, B could tell you, I had the trouble just telling people no, like I can't do it today. I'm tired.
It's common for us, especially if
Yeah.
you're like somebody that, like you said, likes to show up for people. You like to, for people to be able to
Yes.
depend on you. Sometimes that can come at a fault because you end up forgetting that you have the right to say no.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, me and a friend was talking about that today. I had went to go visit her, and we was talking about that, like learning how to say no. And honestly, just letting no be the answer. Like you don't always have to explain yourself. Sometimes you don't even know why you saying no. It's just I can't.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's I used to think that like my granny when she would tell people like no, like no, you can't come over here right now. I got a lot going on. Don't nothing be going on.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, Granny, why you just sit there and lie to them folks? She's like, I just can't do it. I just can't do
Mhm.
all of that right now. They gonna overwhelm me. They gonna take what was her word? They gonna take me fast.
Take you
Overstimulate.
fast.
But
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, like you learn to protect your peace. Like
Yeah.
you talk about like the true meaning of peace, like that resting and knowing that you're controlling everything you can and what you can't. It just is what it is, right?
Mhm.
It's a
Right.
peace, and that can be disturbed by allowing other people to enter your space that really don't serve at that moment or whatever the case may be. But it
Yeah.
comes through practice.
It does. It really does. It's something that you have to learn. It's a learned behavior,
Mhm.
especially after so long not, doing it. And I have definitely gotten good at it. I'm not gonna raise my voice. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Right.
None of that. Like, yeah, if we can't do this in a way that is peaceful, then we don't need to do this at all. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I think that I want to piggyback on that. It seemed like once I started like protecting my peace and just like putting me first and doing what I can after that, I started losing so many people. And when I tell you I was so heartbroken, I was like, dang. But once I got over the heartbrokenness, there was clarity. Like, okay, these are the people that's supposed to be here, and these are the people they
Abs-
not here for the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Some
But that
people.
heartbroken part, I'm like, dang, they didn't love me. They don't love me no more. But once I got past that, I was just thankful. I'm like, because a lot of those people, they would only contact me when they need something. It was never, how you doing, Kia? You good? The kids good? It was never none of that. It's like, can you
Transactional is what
cash
I
out
call
me $50? I need some gas. And, it's just one thing out or just advice so I'm thankful for
it.
that time of my life, that transition of my life of understanding. So, yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely. And some of the tips that, speaking on the tips, like, praying, journaling, the thing about writing, because I'm not ashamed to say it, I'm not a big reader and I'm not a big
Mhm.
writer. Like, I would rather like talk it out. You get what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
don't like the text either. Um,
Mhm.
so don't try to do no back and forth text with me. It ain't gonna last long.
She not lying either.
I'll forget to text you back. It's just not how I communicate, really. I know
Yeah.
how to write. I know how to read, of course, but it's just not really my how I find enjoyment. When I did learn that I will write and I need to write when I'm angry
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
instead of speaking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it feels a lot better to do that, and I think that's some things to practice, like trying different things, because what works for you may not work for the next person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in an angry place, it was very relieving to just sit down and just write. I mean, just write it all. It didn't matter
Yeah.
if I spelt the word wrong or if it was even
Mhm.
legible. It didn't matter. I just wrote, and
Yeah.
then afterwards, I just closed it, and it was like it was all gone.
Yeah.
Now I can't get writing. I be trying, like, let me journal today, but I like to use the voice notes. Nanny, you tell me
Okay.
about that. I like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
talk about it and and listen back to it and like, okay, this is where we are.
You know what? I've heard of that. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna let y'all know how that goes. Cause I'm a writer, but I don't
Mhm.
have time to write anymore a lot of the times. So
Yeah.
just snagging that phone, doing a voice note, and then replaying it a week later or a day later. I've heard of that, but it sounds so therapeutic. So I'm gonna challenge myself to do that, and we can follow up
Yes,
after I
I'm
do that.
challenging you because it
Yeah.
is in those moments where you may be on a hustle and bustle and stuff like that, and you're trying to just get your thoughts together, and like Casey Curtis said, in especially in the car, that's normally where mine happens. That is in my car, and because
Yeah.
I'm driving, I can't write, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to express whatever that thought is. So I'll do the voice notes, and I'm telling you, like, I'm writing my book, and those have been some of the most like those are the things that I'm really using because I'm able to capture those. Because if I miss it, I got so much going on, I don't be coming back to that thought.
You ain't gonna
Right.
remember to write it down when you get the opportunity to write it down.
Right.
Mhm.
That's why I'm
Exactly.
serious about to use that. I mean, we got these phones and they do a lot. We just don't know all of the functions that they have. So I'm not a big techie, but I am learning and I'm trying to utilize my phone a lot more for things that are therapeutic for me, and that don't always have to do with communication with other people.
Right.
Mhm.
Do y'all ever feel like super guilty for like um just not doing anything? Like, it's like if you're tired and you have a checklist, right? And I don't know if this is just me, but this is how my brain works. I take tasks by the day. So when, Sunday is like in my brain, that's the start of the week. So
Yeah.
Sunday,
Yeah.
like, we'll do this Sunday, we'll do this Monday, we'll do this Tuesday, right? And so on and so forth. And then if I don't do nothing Sunday, I feel like I'm behind. If I don't do nothing Monday, oh, I'm even more behind. And I just feel
Mhm.
super guilty about that because it's like, I'm not saying that, I like I have 3 kids. I have a lot going on as well, but it's like you had opportunity to do this. You instead of doing this, you should have been doing that. Um
Yeah.
uh, where do you think that stems from? Like that
I
guilt
mean, I
for not.
really have the same problem, be like especially on my kid-free nights, it's like in my mind, I'm picking between, do I use this time to spend with my friends to catch up? Do I clean the house or do I rest? Like those are my three choices, and I feel like I have to make one. I feel like I have to make one because it's gonna take me a couple of days to clean how I want to clean. It's gonna take me a couple of days to rest how I really need a rest, and it's gonna take me a couple of days to keep, kind of catch up with my friends. So, I mean, I kind of struggle with that as well. I'm just feeling guilty for not doing what I feel like I should be doing when I need to be when I need to be doing it. But I don't feel bad for especially resting because I know if I lay down and I rest for the whole day, I know for sure that my body needed that rest.
Yes.
Because I'm refreshed, and then I'm able to do what I need to do, or a little bit of what else was on the task list after I do rest. But yeah, I kind of struggle with that a little bit. Just feeling a little guilty about it, but
At this
yeah.
age, I don't know if I
Danny,
don't
you got any
do, I don't
tips?
do it. Get
How
somebody
we?
else to do it. If you
Yeah,
worried about it getting done, then you do it.
yeah.
Well, I'm typically the only one worried about it.
Right.
And there
Everybody
you
else
go,
like,
right there.
girl, you tripping. Exactly.
No, it was funny because right before we got on here, well, earlier, I had said I was going when I got back home, I was going to straight, do some cleaning and whatever, right? Some simple stuff. And then on my way home, I told my I said I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going to worry about nothing till tomorrow. And then when I was about to get on here to go live, I was walking around the house and I was like, I was kind of talking to myself, and I was like, never mind, just and yeah, I did. I know it may sound crazy, but I was just like, because I was gonna say something out loud, because it was like shoes in the front room, and it was like some crumbs on the on the
Yes,
couch. Yeah,
overstimulation.
and so
Yes.
I was just walking. I was like, I was about to say something. I was like, never mind. And Quinny was like, he was like, "No, mama, this is my baby. I love him so much." He was like,
Stevie keep you grounded.
"Yeah, he did." Quinny was like, "No, mama, what's wrong? I'll do it. What's wrong?" I said, "No, baby, go play your game before bed. It's okay." And he was like, "I'll do it. I'll do what you need me to do." And I said, "Boy, your mama just going through some things." I said, "Don't worry about it.
No, baby,
Don't
no
even
mind.
worry about
Mama
it."
should have told him to go get them shoes after
Yes.
get them crumbs up. That's what his mama should have told him to do. You gotta start employing these kids. Listen, we ain't doing them no favors. None at
Oh
all.
no. They're actually really good about doing their part. Of course, sometimes I ain't gonna give them too much credit, but they pretty good. They pretty good. But sometimes I think it is like they've had a day too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they really just, are they being lazy, or are they really just trying to relax and reset
Yeah.
and, kind of just enjoy themselves? So I kind of have to choose on whether it's appropriate for me to interrupt their time too, because they do allow me my time too. If we good, everything good, whatever, 99 questions, one after another. But
Yeah.
if I say, hey, I don't need nobody knocking at my door. Y'all didn't
Mhm.
ate. If it ain't emergency, like I just need some time to myself.
Right.
They
That's
are really good about respecting that. So, and I do that for them as well. Like, don't just intrude on
Yeah.
their space as well, even though they have responsibilities just as well as I do. But
Right.
you know,
You're also teaching them boundaries for when they get, older.
yeah.
Making sure you verbalize that I need my space for a little bit.
yeah,
So that's actually a healthy way to communicate, how you're feeling, because it's teaching them how to do so too at the
Mhm.
same time.
And
Yeah.
Casey Curtis says it's important to teach them how to show up in those moments of overstimulation as well. And I agree with that. I was going to say that. And, I had an issue with my first kid, right? My first kid and my second kid, like 9 years apart. So, that's a totally different time frame. And mama was in a
Mhm.
totally different point in her life between these two kids. So,
Yes.
the oldest one is always telling me how, mama, you don't treat them nowhere near how you used to treat me. I used to be scared to hear you come and I just start cleaning. So my room could have been spick and span, but I just try to find something because I just felt like you was gonna say something. She like, these kids ain't even scared of you, mama. They don't care if you coming or not. They ain't gonna get up to do nothing. And I'm just like,
Yes.
I did. I went from one extreme to the next, and it's like trying to find that happy medium between making sure that I show them how to be resilient. Because sometimes I know with me, I learned how to be resilient from watching my mama have to juggle a lot of things. And I'm not saying that I want them to have to be a single parent like my mama or like I was in the beginning or anything like that. But I don't know what life is going to throw at them. So I
Mhm.
do have to make sure that they know how to work through hard situations and that they don't
Right.
always think that mama is going to give them that little piece of quiet time, or whatever. So you have to have a balance because sometimes that's how families are, is that we have to help each other out. So it's okay to say, hey, I'm tired. Can you guys do this part? Can you do that or whatever? And that be okay because we sometimes can compartmentalize in families and feel as though I don't want to ask them to do that because that's not their responsibility. Or, like I
Right.
will say, I don't have my older kids to care for my younger kids because I don't want them to, and it's like, yeah, but like when they get older, where are they
How
gonna
they're
learn?
gonna learn to take care of
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
their own
So
kids.
I definitely do think that, you have to have that happy medium within the family to where nobody should be feeling overburdened or, overworked and you know what I'm saying, just worn out because you have several different parts of the body. And the body is the family.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Exactly.
I don't get paid to do nothing around this
Yeah, for real.
Uh,
Okay. Listen.
house.
Yeah,
No.
I agree.
But yeah, those are just some of my like because for one, as we reiterate over and over, we don't all have it we as the host don't have it figured out. You get what I'm saying? Don't have it all figured out. We constantly have our battles with certain particular things as well. And that's why we want to just open the platform to just kind of talk through it. We may have some great great advice, and a lot of times you know the answer, but it's about implement,
implement.
you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that can be hard as well. Me and my husband was just talking about that, and it's basically like cognitive dissonance is like
Hmm.
doing things that go against, like what you actually believe, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
um and it's like I was talking to him about how both of my grandmothers passed, and from vaping and all this type of stuff. Like I picked up vaping again, and I had quit for a long time, but I picked up vaping again. And then like I've been on um this high sugar intake where I want something sweet. I don't really eat a lot of food, but I just need something sweet all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's a part of like an emotional type of
Hmm.
thing. Like, it could be emotional because you get that
Yeah.
serotonin and all of that when you eat that
Exactly.
stuff. And even for vaping and doing stuff like that, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I was like, how is it that I know the that I have a grandmother who passed from diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and had high blood pressure, and all these type of things that can that are harmful, right? And I'm I'm not I'm not being what is it called? I'm not being
Self-aware.
self I'm self-aware, very self-aware. That's where the conflict comes. But like I'm not doing anything about eating better.
Proactive.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not being
Yeah.
proactive and eating better,
Right.
right? And then, knowing that I had a grandmother pass from COPD, why, like, why would I choose to vape, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, where is it that switch? It just don't click. It's like you're aware of it, but your actions are different. And
Hmm.
that's kind of what I'm like, my focus is that tapping in on is what is that blockage, you know? Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
No, for real, it's nobody else making you do what you do best.
Right.
I know.
And
It's
that
like
that
willpower. It's like that it's you don't have enough willpower. It's kind of like, so if somebody wanted to get up early in the morning and you have an alarm clock that gets you up, but you still hit snooze. You know what I mean? The only thing that's stopping you from getting up is you, because you have the
Mhm.
tool there that is assisting you, but you choose to ignore it, and you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like you just got to do it. You know what I mean? You got to tell yourself that no matter what it is that makes me feel like I need this, I am going to suppress that and say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's like a mental, like you're mentally restructuring
Mhm.
yourself to say no to the things that you know are not good for you.
yeah.
Right. And it takes time too. It just takes a lot. I love a baby. I listen. I done turned the whole couch over looking for my baby. It gets real around here, so I'm right there with you, B. But I know, like, this. It's just the thing that I mean, it takes time. Like I had a friend that was telling me how she stopped vaping, and what she did was she didn't like quit cold turkey. She told herself, "I'm only gonna hit, well, like a 30-day period. I'm only gonna hit my vape 8 times today. And then just kept lowering in it from there and kind of winging herself off. And then before she knew it, she was like, okay, I'm only going to hit 1 time for the day, and that's it until she was done. Was done. And I'm like, how do I
And it's
start at day 30?
right. But but like even going through that process already and
Yeah.
being at a point where it's like, dang, I was at a point where I felt like I didn't even I couldn't
Yeah.
live without it. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
now I'm at a point where I don't even, it's not anything that's just on my mind, you know.
Yeah.
Um
It's just like a habitual thing, like you're
And it's
used
like,
to.
but it's like a
Yeah.
cycle though. It's like,
Yeah.
I think, talking to like professionals that deal with the brain and all of
Yeah.
and what do you call it? Like habits, like how we form habits, how we, like
Right.
it's really it's really something that I think it can be put into words, but I feel like it's just more than willpower itself,
Yeah.
or more
Let
than
me
just
ask you something. So when you like relapsed and started vaping again, were you really hard on yourself about like going back?
kinda a little bit, but not really. I was just more like, oh yeah, like like it was a comfort thing again. So I
Yes,
wasn't
like I
really
needed
hard.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know I needed this type
Nerves
thing.
bad. Nerves bad.
Making
That
those
goes back. Yeah.
excuses to make myself, not, yeah,
Yeah.
but and even now, like I don't beat myself up for it because I know that's not a way to get out of that cycle of, and I know you have to replace habits with other habits, good
Yeah.
habits, And so I get that, but I I just wonder why it's so mass. Like why do so many people have this problem?
Yeah.
Like
It's
I
it's not
agree.
just towards me, it's just like an example of like, dang, like right? Like what's
Yeah.
stopping you? But I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe
No,
I
I
should.
feel that. I mean, especially, I think it's popular. That's one thing. It became very popular. And then not only that, they then added the nicotine to the vape because originally it was just like juice, it's just like, like a flavored vape or whatever. Then you add the nicotine to it, that becomes addicting. And nicotine is addicting, period. I
Mhm.
think that's where it really originates from, is just being originally starting to be popular and then and it's cute, it smells good, and it tastes good, especially like the fruity ones or whatever. I think that's where a lot of that originality from it comes from, is
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of other things that have been made to be
Yeah.
appealing. You got to make it look cool.
Right.
Right? You got to make it,
Yes.
a
Like mine looks like a whole
clear thing.
purse. Like, how is that?
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, see, not
Like,
you then.
why would I not get, like, I mean, I shouldn't have got it, but it's like it's so cute, and then so I
Yeah.
feel you. It's an everyday struggle, but I do notice that since I work in a call center and I work for the state, I can't vape all the time, so I'm not sitting at my desk just hitting my vape all the time, so I don't hit it as much as I would if I was like working from home or something like that.
So you
Yeah.
see that you can do it. You can go without it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
right.
and you just have to start. I think you just have to start somewhere, with saying, okay, you know what? I'm only going to do it, like you said, this many times or whatever, until you kind of wean yourself off. I think it's doable. I
Hmm.
think you do have to have that willpower to be able to say, like, and there is nothing that's going to make me, go against what I'm setting in,
Right.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the things that like we can beat ourselves up about or whatever the case may be, but look at all the good things that we're doing as women, and
Yeah.
even just bringing and that's why I said that, because it's like um I want people to like I want to expose myself so
Mhm.
that people can people know, like, hey, like you're not the only one. Like, we may be
Right.
here talk about
Exactly.
vaping, but we're not just talking about vaping. We're talking about your habit or
Right.
what's holding you back, right? It may look different for you, right?
Yeah.
This is how it looks to put it on the forefront. And then do you see how Kia and Nani have just pouring and not telling me and feeding my mind with these ideas that you don't have to play into that. It is, this is something that you can change, right?
Right.
So, I kind of purposely did that to kind of expose how there are flaws. We all have flaws or whatever you call them or whatever you want to call them, right? But I don't necessarily don't know how to quit a vape, right? But
Mm.
putting that out there, putting something out there that you feel like maybe you're struggling with, you never know what you can get from it from other people. So don't be
Right.
ashamed of what it is that you may do behind closed doors. Don't be
Right.
ashamed of not having the strength or the knowledge or the willpower to do certain things, right?
Right.
This is what
Exactly.
sisterhood and women in general do, and men as well, but this is what we need conversation around those type of things. Don't just speak out. You never know what you can get back from that. So that's what I had to say about that.
Yes, I feel like we are very relatable to a lot of women across the nation.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of them can relate to a lot of the topics that we've talked about thus far. As being resilient, just like knowing how to ground yourself, working on the habits that you're not really, happy about with yourself.
Mhm.
This podcast becomes a very relatable type of thing.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate y'all for having me on here. I'm very honored to be on here,
To
and I was excited when B asked me to join because I really enjoyed myself. My arm is going numb, and I don't even want to leave.
Well, listen, we will not keep you for much longer. I see that you definitely have a comfy arm piece right now. Uh, I want to tell you thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you put out and the things that you shared. It was very enlightening. I think that, we all kind of, even though we're in different places in our lives, we share some common ground on what we experience and the things that we struggle with, or, things that we deal with on a daily basis. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you
Of
and I love
course.
you.
I
And
love you, Naomi.
you speak life into your mommyhood, your work, your business, all of that. I just pray that God just throws blessings out that you won't even have room to receive, that you get blessed so much. So I love you
There's
and
actually something I'm gonna share off of here
okay.
that I want you to know because it just made me smile. Miss B done already seen it, but
Oh,
I'll share it off of the off of the live.
okay.
It'll make you laugh.
Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for
Love
having
you
me.
too, and thank you
Uh,
all for joining with Wisdom Wednesday with us, and we will see y'all next week. And love
Love
y'all.
Women
you.
of
Straight up.
wisdom.
Hold on just a second. We're leaving. We're ending.